Part 9, Conclusion, The Weight of Authority and the Call of Heaven. I found him alone on the balcony this time. The night air was cool, the sky stretched wide above us, dotted with stars that seemed strangely calm compared to the world he carried on his shoulders. He leaned on the railing, staring out across the city lights as though searching for answers hidden between them. When he heard my footsteps, he did not turn, but he spoke with the voice of a man wrestling with truth. "BJ, I have been thinking about what you said. About surrender. About letting God lead me. But there is something else that troubles me. If God truly appoints leaders, what does that mean for someone like me? What does it mean for the people who follow?" I moved beside him, letting the silence settle before answering. "Sir, Scripture is clear that God is sovereign over positions of authority. In Romans chapter 13 verse 1 it says that there is no authority except from God, and the authorities that exist have been established by Him. Leadership is not an accident. It is a stewardship." He nodded slowly. "So if God allows a person to rise to leadership, even with flaws and failures, He still expects something from them." "Yes," I said. "Every leader is accountable to the one who placed them there. In Daniel chapter 2 verse 21 it says that God changes times and seasons, He removes kings and sets up kings. Authority begins with Him, continues through Him, and ends before Him." He exhaled deeply, a weight shifting inside him. "And what about the people? What are they supposed to do with a leader who is still learning, still struggling, still imperfect?" I turned to face him. "Scripture speaks to that too. 1 Timothy chapter 2 verses 1 and 2 commands that prayers, intercessions, and thanksgivings be made for all who are in authority, so that the people may lead a quiet and peaceable life." God calls His people to pray for their leaders, not because their leaders are flawless, but because He is faithful. He looked out over the city again, the flickering lights reflecting in his eyes. "People expect me to be strong all the time. To have every answer. To make the right decisions, even when the right decisions are not clear. That is why God places you where He does," I said. "Not to carry everything alone, but to seek Him openly. A leader who honors God does not pretend to be perfect. A leader who honors God admits their need for guidance." When King Solomon asked for wisdom in 1 Kings chapter 3 verse 9, he became one of the greatest leaders in Scripture, not because he relied on himself, but because he relied on God. He straightened a little, as if that truth added strength to his posture. "And the people? They are really supposed to follow a leader like that?" "People are supposed to follow leaders as those leaders follow God," I answered. 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 17 tells us to honor all people, love the brotherhood, fear God, and honor the king. Not because the king is worthy in himself, but because God deserves honor in the way His people treat those He places in authority. He looked at me then, searching my face for any sign of hesitation, but I spoke plainly, as the Spirit gave me the words. "Sir, when you surrender your leadership to God, you do not lose authority. You gain it. You become the kind of leader Scripture describes, the kind people can respect without fear, the kind they can pray for with sincerity. Because leadership under God is not domination. It is service. It is humility. It is stewardship." He leaned back against the railing, letting my words sink deeper than the night air. "BJ, I think I am beginning to understand something. Leadership is not about getting the world to follow me. It is about me learning to follow God so the world can see Him through me." "That is exactly right," I said quietly. "And when leaders lift up the name of God, the people have something holy to unite around. Proverbs chapter 29 verse 2 says that when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice." The balcony fell silent, but this silence did not feel heavy. It felt sacred. A moment suspended between earth and heaven, where a leader's heart shifted closer to the posture God had always intended. He placed both hands on the railing, steady now, grounded not in power, but in purpose. "BJ, if God really put me here, then I want to lead in a way that honors Him." And in that moment, I knew the Spirit was working. Not through force, not through argument, but through Scripture, gently turning the heart of a leader toward the one who placed him where he stood. The city lights flickered below, but something far brighter stirred above us, unseen yet unmistakable. God was shaping a story bigger than both of us.